divine will, equally pious and cruel, which
Whoa.
we could not and will never be able to unravel, was
Okay.
called the miracle.
Miracle. The lore on this always seems so fascinating. I love the art style. The art style is so nice. Such a sick art style. That's us right there. So I I completed Blasphemous, and it's been a while. If I'm going to be extremely honest, it's been a while since I've completed the game. Um, Mainly because I was really thinking about making this video for like a while, and it was already gonna be planned that Blasphemous was gonna be a video on its own. Mainly because of how like hooked I got into it, but doing a I guess a review of the game, literally right after finishing the game doesn't make sense since I didn't want to end up having any bias when it came to like really acknowledging the game and explaining it. It's been a couple of weeks, I'm pretty sure, maybe a month, um, since I've completed Blasphemous. But I think now that I let everything kind of sit in, simmer, and kind of look at the game from the outside, also look at other media of the game when it comes to like lore, um, about the game. I really kind of took everything into consideration to kind of talk about it and not really be like this game is amazing and then saying that's it. But the premise of the game is really kind of hard trying to like explain, mainly because it's very difficult to kind of pinpoint what game it is, or like I guess the gameplay. Majority of the time you are basically doing platforming, right? Platforming, exploring. Um, it is fun. It is fun to like explore the map, find the secrets, but it is a lot of platforming, and of course you have your elements of action, but majority of the times it's just a button, square, which is, I guess for me, I don't know what it'd be on any other platform, but the combat's very simple, but also it's very fun. It took me a while to kind of understand the combat and combos and utilize all like everything that the game gives you. There's a lot of things that you're able to kind of get in a skill tree kind of thing. Um, I literally was not really too good on the combat. I was just spamming a button, and I'd say I didn't even use my special, which is extremely important to use. That is one thing that I do regret not doing. Um, Mostly because you do get a whole bunch of FP, and I would definitely utilize specials. Um, but majority of the game, it's like the premise is just, I guess in the beginning of the game, you are given an objective, a main objective for the most part. Um, you basically have to collect three, I think it's three humiliations, which is like in the lore wise, it is extremely massive. I'm not gonna explain it, but it just you have to collect three humiliations, which of course are hidden behind a boss. Um, the order of it is difficult to kind of pinpoint. I guess you could go in the order that they tell you in. Of course, you're not gonna know where that is, because of course you're just exploring mindlessly, and that's kind of like the main objective, right? You need to do that before you're then able to kind of go into like the middle slash late game. But that's mainly where you're focusing. That's what half of the game is gonna basically be for you. It's just you have to find these three humiliations, beat the three bosses, and then that's it. And as in main bosses, there's not that many main bosses. Like I guess those three would be main bosses. There is other bosses that kind of just um that are there to block a another area. Which I mean, I guess you could call it a main boss, side boss maybe. I'm not sure. You are supposed to do them to progress, so I guess main bosses. But I mean, given that they don't really give you an item to progress the story, it just um they're not going to be extremely difficult. The bosses are absolutely amazing though. I This is probably like the most fun I've had when it came to like um going into a boss fight. It's very I love the like learning the rhythm that each boss has. It was kind of like a dancing game where like you're just looking at what's happening in front of you and you're just memorizing it, and it's fantastic. The way the game is like pixelated, it is. Ah, the bosses look fantastic. Um, but yeah, basically the premise is just you are platforming combat. Combat is very simple but also very fun. Of course, you are looking to find secrets, basically just uh, hitting mystery walls, finding just random areas by just randomly. That happens a lot. Um, and the game never feels like it always has your attention. There's not really a break or like kind of how you do in other games where you just mindlessly play the game. The platforming really does keep you like connected since uh, you don't want to fall, die, reset. It's really fun. I think this has been probably one of the games that I would have never thought to play or kind of dump this amount of hours into it. But I enjoyed every single second of it. I To recommend this game is really just it's really I would recommend, but I will say that it does get frustrating at sometimes, mainly because of the platforming. There is some areas that are a little bit difficult. Some the bosses is not really. I think I beat every single boss within the five turns. I'm pretty sure. Um, so the bosses weren't really too difficult. I don't know if I was over leveled or not. Again, I don't know what over leveled is because you literally find your own upgrades at your own time, I guess. So I maybe I might have been over leveled. I'm not too sure, but it's really fun if you're able to get past the kind of annoying parts or the very like um platforming slash being just thrown with some random shit at you. I think it does end up being an absolute fantastic game. It's just a matter of committing committing to it and not really just giving up on it because I feel like the combat, the story, everything that is Blasphemous is just fantastic, and I feel like if if I didn't play it, I wouldn't have fell in love with this type of game. Um, Definitely end up looking into similar games like this now. It's absolutely just changed like my view when it comes to like random games like this. Um, Blasphemous 2 has come out. I think it was like this year. I did see a little bit of it, and it did lose its pixelated art form, which kind of sucks. I don't think I'll play that game. I'm not sure how well received it was when it comes to this game. In fact, this game is absolutely just it's very hard to beat out of just craziness and just pure just fun. Um, I would definitely recommend though if you're just able to just commit through it and then just push through, it'll definitely keep you hooked. And there's not really a point where you are just gonna be bored. It's like it just keeps you hooked like the entire time. It's fantastic. It's just good. I enjoyed everything about it. I wish I could probably play it all over again, but it is just like I think your first playthrough it's always gonna be like the best playthrough. Even if I played this game 4 or 5 times again, I would not be able to replicate the feelings, the enjoyment, the excitement, kind of that shock value of some crazy things in this. It's just fantastic, and I mean, I would just highly recommend if it's on sale or if you're able to play it. I would highly recommend even just giving it a try to see if it suits you, if you're able to kind of do it. Um, it is a little bit challenging, like I said. Some bosses you do have to. It is kind of like a rhythm game. You have to kind of get with the rhythm, but I think it it's fun. It's really fun. There's not really too much bad to say about it. I've enjoyed it. I enjoyed my experience with it, and I mean, such an enjoyable experience. And I mean, that's basically it. It's very hard trying to talk about a game that makes it very hard to talk about when it comes to like gameplay, lore. It's just an absolute. It's like a wild card of a game. It's fantastic. I don't know. I don't. It's very hard to say, but it's fantastic. It's fantastic.